I've got some headlines I want to cover here. And then at the bottom of the hour, we're going to play Rex Jones going out on the streets talking to liberals about guns that don't exist. Yes, they want to ban guns that don't exist. So that's going to be rich. And then I have a boil down of my 2 hours of live broadcasting from the March for Our Lives in Austin, Texas. Now, I got to tell you, it's really strange because I edit this boil down, but it's really strange reliving it through the editing process. When you're actually there, like I'm in the zone and I'm reporting. I mean, literally, both my hands are tied. They're showing a video, a clip of this right now. But I go back and I when I'm reviewing this, it's like it's even more insane than I remember. It's like I'm going back and I'm thinking, okay, here were some of the highlights. Here's what I'll put in the video. And then I watch the full 2 hours and I'm like, oh my gosh, like the whole 2 hours is insane. Like if I wanted to actually boil it down to a highlight from 2 hours, it'd still be like an hour and a half. But we're going to have some boil downs. I'm going to put out some other edits as well so you can just review the madness that is these liberals that are marching against their rights. They're literally marching against their rights. But let me just hit some of these headlines here just to show you some of the hypocrisy. This is from Breitbart. Celebrities hit the streets to support student gun control march. Vote them all out. Well, the funny thing is, at this point, I'm kind of willing to vote out about 80% of Congress as well. I mean, the Republican Party is a total joke. The only ones that seem to be conservatives are Rand Paul, Jim Jordan, a handful of others. But so you've got Jim Carrey, you've got other stars out there. Apparently George Clooney. They're pledging millions and millions of dollars to these events. Oh, but how much do you want to bet that every single one of those celebrities that was out on the streets with the marchers was protected by armed guards? You think for 1 second that any of these celebrities are going to go on the streets of America without armed security? You are nuts. So here's the biggest hypocrites in America, protected by guns, that then go out on a massive globalist platform and say, turn in the guns, gun control now, and then has armed security escort them out of the event. And somehow, even though the hypocrisy is so blatant, so in your face, somehow these liberals still fall for it because they're brainwashed and they don't stand for anything. If you don't stand for anything, you'll fall for anything. And they do fall for anything, including banning a weapon that doesn't exist and listening to an individual about turning your guns in who is protected by armed security around the clock and has a wall around his house. I mean, like, seriously, folks, this is so basic common sense. The only way to explain it is that the left, the liberal minions, are literally brainwashed. And that's not our rhetoric. Listen to what Eric Holder says. We have to literally brainwash the public into thinking differently about guns. He says we're going to do it in all the schools, every day, all day, every school. And then what do you get? A bunch of indoctrinated students who march against their own rights. That's the Democrat brainwashing. They told you that would happen. And then they take the biggest phonies on earth who get escorted in with armed security, say, take the guns, gun control now, and then get escorted out with armed security. And then all the brainwashed minions indoctrinated by the public school say, yay! Oh my gosh, he's so righteous. He's such a good guy. And then he gives you a big fat middle finger as he walks away in his armed security. So that's fine. What's next? March for Our Lives will start a revolution, says Parkland school shooting survivor. Oh, yeah. Oh, you're going to get your revolution, bud. You're going to get your revolution. You're going to get your Nazi-style revolution. That's what you want. You're the Nazis. You're the brown shirts. You're the Mao Brigade. Where does it end? You know what their revolution is, folks? They just kill us all. You don't think for 1 second that these anti-gun liberals would gladly burn every NRA member to death, just like the Nazis did to the Jews? That's their hatred. That's their fomented hatred by the Democrats, by the propaganda. Absolutely. And now you understand why we're pro-Second Amendment. Now you understand why we have guns. Because I've got radical liberals in this country that would gladly burn me to death in a gas chamber. Absolutely they would. And that's why they go out on the streets march against guns because of the propaganda of the Democrat Party that Eric Holder announced years ago. And just like Hitler, then they stage events, use those events to demonize their enemies, and then say, we have to take the guns. Literally the Nazi playbook. I mean, literally play for play right out of the Nazi playbook. And then to make it even more crazy, I mean, as if that wasn't crazy enough, then their next march is going to be Trump is Hitler. And you want to turn the guns into Hitler? So yeah, you're trying to start a revolution for sure, just like the Nazis did to kill the Jews. That's what you're doing on the left. You want to kill conservatives and gun owners. That's your revolution. You're violent, you're hateful, you're ignorant, you're uninformed, and you're brainwashed. Again, we don't even talk about some of the stuff we put up with around here, folks, but there's a reason why we're staunch Second Amendment activists. Here's from the Gateway Pundit. David Hogg rallies Democrats in D.C. If you listen real close, you can hear the people in power shaking. Really? Really? Because you're proposing to give all the guns over to the people in power. Why would they be shaking, David Hogg? Why would the people in power be shaking, David Hogg, if you are trying to give them all the guns? Think about it. He says, if you listen real close, the people in power are shaking. You want to give the guns to all the people in power. So why would they be the ones shaking? The ones shaking are going to be the citizens of this country that lose their right to bear arms, lose their right to self-protection. Women, children, families, they're all going to lose their rights to protection because of you, David Hogg. And then the power structure that you claim is shaking is going to be the one with all the guns, and then they're going to bring in their authoritarian regime. That's how this works. So is David Hogg a complete moron, or is he a stooge? Is he being fed party lines from the Democrats, from the FBI? You can hear the people in power shaking as we want to give the people in power all the guns. Trump is Hitler, and we want to give Hitler all the guns. We're anti-fascists, but we want to hand all the guns into the government just like a fascist regime would do. And then somehow I'm the crazy one, according to these people, when I go out on the streets. And we'll have the video. We got the video. We're going to play the video at the bottom of the hour. Oh, but whoa! Oh my gosh! But stop the presses, because 60 Minutes is going to interview a porn star tonight. Oh yeah! Stormy Daniels' attorney sends a warning shot to Trump. It's time to come clean. Well, congratulations to Stormy Daniels for being smarter than the media. So now a porn star has literally outsmarted the mainstream liberal media. A porn star is now smarter than the average liberal media outlet, and she has totally pawned them all to promote her own show, her own whatever. So now Stormy Daniels is smarter than the average liberal on television, as she's using them all right now to promote her own agenda. As if any of this is going to bring Trump down. This is what I was saying earlier. If the liberal media understood anything about trying to bring Trump down, they'd be talking about this omnibus spending bill. But they don't want to complain about that, see? They can't complain about that because it's their bill. So if they complain about the omnibus bill, they're complaining about their own bill that funds Planned Parenthood. So they can't do that. So instead they interview a porn star on CNN, Anderson Cooper on CNN, Anderson Cooper on 60 Minutes. Electrify your day with Secret 12. It's like lightning in a bottle. We all have days in which we just can't seem to perform at the level we'd like to. Infowars Life Secret 12 is designed to naturally energize your body and mind with 2 great tasting and super high quality forms of vitamin B12. Proper vitamin and nutrient intake is essential to keep your body functioning at optimum levels. The reality is, it's hard to take in the proper amount of vitamins we need each day with our modern diets. Secret 12 by Infowars Life is an easy way to naturally upgrade your vitamin B12 intake and support your body's natural systems. It pairs 2 forms of vitamin B12 into one explosive formula. Vitamin B12 supports healthy energy levels through red blood cell formation and aiding in the body's natural processes, but it also assists with many other functions of the body. Electrify your mind and body and take your health to the next level. Experience the power of Secret 12 at InfoWarsLife.com. That's InfoWarsLife.com.